And knee pull, and knee pull. Kick, kick, knee pull, knee pull. You start to get the motion and you feel super confident with this movement. You can always pick up the pace to pick your heart rate up a little more. And do 2 more of these. 1, 2, last kick, last kick. 1 knee, 1 knee. Now you bring your feet about hip width apart. We're gonna come to our squat touchdown to overhead reach. Coming all the way down, sticking your butt back in that squat. Really keeping the weight back in those heels. And then nice butt squeeze at the top. Awesome. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. And then I'm going to have you come into some jumping jacks. Just bringing those hands up overhead. Really try to focus on bringing your legs together in the middle. Almost slamming your arms down at your sides to start to engage your lats in your jacks. If you need to tap, you can always tap out to the sides, making this lower intensity, still really working on the arms to keep those shoulders moving. Last 3, 2, and then we're going to bring it down to an inchworm. At the bottom of your inchworm, 1 push-up. So if you need to go into your knees, you can always drop to your knees, do your push-up, push back up, and walk yourself up. Then reach it all the way up at the top, crawl it back down, 1 push-up, and then crawl it back down. Awesome. Exhale as you push up from the ground. We're going to try to get 3 more in here. Getting those arms nice and warm. This is going to replace our plates for our warm-up. Walking all the way down. Nice push-ups. Awesome. Last one. Woo. And then once you're done with that push-up and you're standing, I'm going to have you come into some high knees. Bringing those knees up nice and high. You can always make this more of a jog if you need to. Or if you need to march, you can always bring one knee up at a time. Really focusing on drawing the belly button in to keep that core nice and tight. Awesome, keep breathing. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we're going to bring it back for our runner's lunge. For this first set, I want you to keep your arms reaching up and bring that leg back. And we're going to try to keep most of the weight in that front heel, keeping that back leg as straight as you can. As you reach up for the ceiling, try to let that back drop as much as you can. You should feel a nice stretch all the way along that front hip flexor. Take a deep breath here as you stretch up and reach. And then I'm going to have you come down towards your foot, rotate towards your forward bent leg. So keeping the weight in that front heel, should feel a nice rotation along the outside of that hip. And then bring yourself back to the middle, rotate away from that forward bent leg, opening up almost like the back of your shoulders going against that inner thigh. Awesome. And when you come back to the middle, drop your back knee. We're going to straighten out that front leg, really pressing your heel down into the floor as you send your hip back, behind you. Your toe. And you should feel a nice stretch all the way from your calf, along your hamstrings. Taking a few deep breaths in here. And then I'm going to have you stretch out your inner thigh. So whenever you bring that same leg in and then send it out to the side, keeping it nice and straight. You're still going to send your hips back a little bit. And then I want you to reach that same hand for that same toe. So as you lean over to the side, you should feel a nice subtle stretch from knee to groin. If that's too much on your knee or if that's painful, you can always keep that leg bent and then just press your elbow out against that knee. So do whatever feels right. And then I'm going to have you switch. First come all the way standing. Then I'm going to have you bring that opposite leg straight back as you reach your arms up for the ceiling. So we're still going to keep that back leg as straight as you can, letting that hip drop, keeping the weight in the heel of that front foot, really trying to open up along the torso, getting that nice stretch in your hip flexor. Then I'm going to have you bring it down to the floor, and then rotate towards that forward bent leg, getting a nice rotation. You should feel a big stretch along this outer hip and IT band. And then bring yourself back to the middle. We're going to rotate the other direction, bringing the outside of that shoulder to the inside of that forward leg. Then I'm going to have you come back to the middle, drop that back knee. First, starting with the leg straight forward. Really doing your best to push that hip back behind you as you drive your heel into the floor. Keeping your toe pointed upwards. Reach with your opposite hand for your toes. And you should feel a nice stretch all the way along calf and hamstring. And then I'm going to have you bring that same leg in and then send it out to the side. Again, doing your best to try to keep that toe up. We're going to sit back a little bit, then reach your same hand for that toe. You should feel a stretch along that inner thigh. Again, if this doesn't feel good, keeping your leg straight and locked out, you can always bend that leg and just focus on pressing your elbow out against that knee. Whatever's more comfortable in that inner thigh and groin. Perfect. Okay, grab water if you need it. I'm going to show you the first two exercises for our core warm-up. We're going to go through this 2 times in a row, and then we're going to go into the next one. So for this first one, we're going to set up with our easy peasy leg lifts. So I'm going to have you start with your hands underneath your low back. We're going to point those toes up. Then you're going to bring the legs down so your heels touch the floor. Exhale as you bring it back up. If you need to keep your legs slightly bent, that'll be a little easier on the hips. And then our second one, we're going to set up for bicycle crunches. Each one's only 30 seconds. So now we start with those leg lifts, 30 seconds. In 3, 2, and go. So we're going to inhale as you lower those legs. Exhale as you bring that belly button in towards your spine. We want to do our best to try to keep that low back pressing into the hands. The tighter you can draw your belly button in towards your spine, the easier it'll be to lift those legs back up. It's also helpful a little bit if you can clench your butt cheeks at the bottom of your leg lift, right when your legs come down to the floor. And that almost helps you catch your legs before they fall completely. Inhale and exhale. We got 3, 2, and rest. Now we're going to bring those hands underneath your head, setting up for bicycle crunches, 30 seconds, and go. So we're going to kick straight out. Do your best to try to get that leg all the way straight as you kick, bringing the opposite knee in towards the opposite shoulder. We want to try to keep those elbows out nice and wide. Remember, we're not pulling on the head, we're just keeping our hands back behind our head to support our neck. Little exhales as you kick, and that will help you keep that belly button drawing in, keeping that low back on the floor. We got 3, 2, and rest. Okay, we're going to set back up for one more set of leg lifts, only 30 seconds. Bringing those hands back underneath that low back, pointing those legs up in 3, 2, and go. So again, inhale, bring those heels down, exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, and exhale. Keep breathing. Doing your best to keep that belly button drawing in. If you want to keep your head lifted up off the ground, keeping your shoulders up off the ground, Make sure that you're still tucking your chin under to protect your neck. Awesome. We got 3, 2, and rest. So we have lowers and those bicycle crunches. Bring those hands back underneath that head. Bring those legs up at tabletop. And kick. Exhale. Each time you kick it out, try to kick with purpose. Getting that leg out as straight as you can. Bringing that knee in towards that opposite shoulder. Again, keep the elbows out nice and wide. So that way we're using our upper abs and not our shoulders. Awesome, we're already over halfway. Keep breathing. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Woo. All right, so we're gonna roll it over. We're gonna sign up for 1 set of break dancers. We're gonna go through this whole move for a whole minute. So if you need to take a break at any point, you can always take a break, take it out. You can always hold in a plank if you need to. So for our break dancers, you wanna set up in your plank. We're gonna rotate, so you're gonna bring your leg up and over, land in your heel, kick that opposite foot up towards your opposite hand, come back down into your plank, rotate the other direction, kick up. You can make this as fast or as slow as you want. You just want to make sure you have good control and you don't fall over backwards. I'm going to start this first set. We're only going to do a minute. 1 set of these, then we're done with our break dancers. We're ready. And go. We're going to set up that plank. Bring that leg up and over. Don't kick the dogs. Exhale. Every time you kick that leg up, it's almost like a rotating plank and a crab kick combined. Keep breathing. We're already halfway there. You need to hold your plank. You can always just hold. You can also practice without the pickup if you need a little more support. This is really good for upper body and shoulder stability, working the upper abs. Awesome, we're so close. Last 10 seconds. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. Then the last 2, we're going to set up in our bridge position. So this first bridge, I'm going to have you stay up in your bridge hold. So once you're there, our feet are going to go out in that neutral bridge position. We're going to hold all the way up, and then we're just going to pulse and pulse and pulse. Our second set of bridges, these are called butterfly bridges. You're going to bring your heels together, letting your knees fall out as far as you can. You're going to be much more challenging, especially if you're tight in the thighs. And then we're going to lift up, pressing heels together as much as you can, keeping those legs out nice and wide. Okie dokie. So we're going to start first with that normal bridge. Feet are about hip width apart. Lift those hips up as high as you can. And pulse. And pulse. So every time you pulse, you're drawing your belly button in towards your spine. We're clenching those butt cheeks together over and over. Almost like you're squeezing a lemon to try to make a lemonade. The tighter you can clench those butt cheeks together, the more you're going to feel this after the 30 seconds. Little inhales through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Keeping the weight in those heels. Awesome. Stay in this. We got 3, 2, and rest. Lower those hips. Then I'm going to have you let your legs turn out. Bring your heels together. This one will feel a little awkward at first. Press your hands on the ground for support. We're going to press those heels together as you lift your hips up as high as you can, and then lower just to hover. You may only get a little bit of a lift. That's okay. You're going to feel this a lot more in those outer thighs and those inner thighs. We only have 30 seconds here. Let it inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift, squeezing those legs together. We want to try to keep those knees falling out as much as we can. Kind of like our butterfly stretch. Keep breathing. We're already over halfway. Keeping that belly button drawing in. Let's try to get 2 more in here. We got 3, 2, and and wrist. Lower those hips. Hug your knees into your chest for a second. Now we're going to set up for one more set of that bridge pulse. Bringing those feet out about hip width apart. Lift those hips up as high as you can. And pulse. A little bit squeezes. Butt squeeze, butt squeeze, butt squeeze, butt squeeze. Keeping those hips lifted all the way towards the sky. And keep breathing. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Awesome. You got this. Less than 10 seconds. Your butt should be burning. Keep going in those heels. We got 3, 2, and lower those hips. Last set of our butterfly bridges. Bring those heels together. Let those knees fall out as much as you can. And then lift up towards the sky. Right back down. The harder you can press your heels together, the more you'll feel this along those inner thighs and those inner butt cheeks. Really use your breath to help with this one. Exhale as you lift. Awesome, we're so close. Try to get a couple more in here. We got 3, 2, and rest. Shake it out. Stretch out anything that you need to stretch out. We're going to start standing. This is where you're going to need your red band. We are going to go through each exercise 4 times in a row. We're going to have 35 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, and then we're going to do that same exercise. So kind of like Tabata, but our intervals are a little bit longer, our rest is longer, and we only have to do it 4 times. So now if you start with that red band around your shoes, it's bandy. So once we have that band around your shoes, we're going to try to keep your feet out nice and wide. The more distance you can keep between that band, the harder your hips are going to be working in this exercise. So we want to avoid letting the feet come all the way together. So from here, you're going to stick your butt back a little bit. We're going to keep a slight bend in those knees, almost like we're in a mini squat. And then we're just going to do little steps to the side. I'm going to have you count 8 to the side and 8 to the other side. So we're going to start this 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest in 3, 2, and go. We have little tiny steps to the side. You can keep your hands on your hips. You can keep them out in front of you. As long as you can stick that butt back behind you and you start to feel this in those outer hips. Once you make 8 steps to the side, we're going to go 8 steps to the other side. Keeping that distance. You want to keep those feet apart from each other. When we have the band around our feet, it's a little more challenging than when it's around our knees. Awesome. Keep breathing. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Keep 15 seconds of rest, shake those legs out. We're gonna do that same thing again. If this is too easy for you and you wanna add a dumbbell, you can always hold the weight as you go to the side as well. I'm gonna set this one up again, and go. We have 8 little steps to the side. This is just a nice warm up for those hips before we go into our other exercises. 8, and then 8 steps, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, we're already halfway. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 5 seconds. 3. And rest. Woo, we should be starting to feel this by now. We only have 2 more rounds. Another way you can make this a little more challenging if you want to, try sitting a little bit lower on your squat and then moving to the side. Ready? And go. Only 35 seconds. Keep breathing. So drawing that belly button in to protect that low back. Sticking your butt back behind you is going to make sure that we're using those outer hips. Awesome. Keep breathing. Little tiny steps leading through those heels. Last 10 seconds. Keep breathing. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Oh, shake your legs out. We have one more round of those. This is our last 35 seconds of our side steps. In 3, 2, and go. 8 little steps to the side. Keep breathing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, you should be feeling it now. Keep breathing, holding that belly button in, sticking that butt back behind you. Awesome, we're already over halfway. Last 10 seconds here. Keep leading through those heels. We got 3, 2, and rest. Take those legs out. Take that band off, but leave it pretty close because we'll need it soon. Okay, so for this next one, I'm going to have you use the set of weights that you feel comfortable doing a back row and then a tricep extension. We're going to make sure that we can really separate these motions. So since your hips are nice and warm, it should be easier to stick your butt back, keep your belly button in, your back nice and flat. I'm going to pull the shoulder blades back, extend the arms, bring them back down, and then back down. So we're going to set this one up. 35 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. 4 times. In 3, 2, and go. So I'm going to keep the weight back in those heels. 1 row, 1 extension, unextend, unrow. That row before we extend, make sure that we're really engaging those shoulders, keeping that chest forward. As you kick back through the triceps, make sure that we're hyperextending at those elbows. Really trying to work in that muscle all along the back of your arms. Awesome, we got 3, 2, and rest. This is another one too where we want to be careful about not getting too wristy. So as you send the arms back, make sure that you're keeping those wrists in a neutral position and that you're not flicking the weights with your wrists. We're going to set this one up again. 35 seconds in 3, 2, and go. We're going to pull straight back, extend back, unextend, unrow. Squeeze those shoulder blades, send those weights back. Keep breathing. Exhale as you row, and extend. Inhale as you lower. Keeping that butt back, belly button in, chest forward. Try to get 2 more in here. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo. And shake it out. We're already halfway done with those. We're going to set this one back up again in 3, 2, and go. So we got roll and row, extend, unextend, unrow. Really focus on your movement. Keeping that belly button in. Elbows should stay nice and close and towards your sides. Almost imagine like you're trying to bring the dumbbells back behind your back to meet each other. And that will help you keep safer in those shoulders. Make sure that you're working more in the triceps. Awesome. Last 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. We have one more set of those. Setting this one up last time in that row to extension in 3, 2, and go. 1 row and extend. Almost like you're bringing the dumbbells to your pockets and then straight back. Should be starting to feel this in the back of those arms by now. Working through fatigue. You got this. We're already halfway. Awesome, last 10 seconds. Try to get a couple more good ones in here, really sending the back of those dumbbells up towards the sky. In 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. Set those weights down. If you have multiple sets of weights, you'll probably want your heavier ones the next set of exercises we go through. So I'm going to have you grab your red band again. This is the last time we'll need that band. I'm going to have you put it around your ankles If you go through a set of these and it's too challenging with the band or it's falling off, you can also do this without the band. So now we set it for two-way jacks. So when we go into our jumping jacks, we're going to bring our arms up to the sides, then up to the front. Up to the sides, up to the front, keeping that band around the ankles the whole time. If it starts to fall off your shoes, a trick, you can always try tucking it under in the back of your heel, in the tongue of your shoes, anyway, so it stays right there. So we're gonna set up 4 sets, 35 seconds, 15 seconds of rest. In 3, 2, and go. So we're gonna go out to the side, up to the front, up to the side, up to the front. If you need tap, same thing, like with our warm up, just tap out against that big end. Awesome, keep breathing. We're already halfway. Sometimes the band's helpful for bringing those legs back together. The tighter you can squeeze your belly button in, the lighter you'll feel. 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Round 1 dog. Keep breathing. We're gonna set this one up again. 35 seconds in 3, 2, and go. Out to the side, up to the front, out to the side, up to the front. Awesome, you got this. Again, you can always tap if you need to. If the band starts to be too much, you can always kick that band off and do your jacks without it. Nice job, keep this going. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Yay. 2 rounds done here. Setting this round up again. In 3, 2, and go. Up to the side, up to the front, up to the side, and the front. Again, you can always tap and tap. Do what you need to keep yourself moving, working in those hips and arms. Awesome job. Over halfway. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and rest. Woo! You got this one last round of jacks. Setting this last round up in 3, 2, and go. Out to the side, up to the front. You got this, keep breathing. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Over halfway. Last 10. Keep breathing. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo! Pick that band up. Grab water if you need it. I'm going to show you this next exercise. I'm also going to give you a modification for knees. So we're going to do our first set of surrenders. I want you to do your best to try to alternate legs as you come up and down. So you're just going to start standing. If you want to add weights for this, be my guest. You can always hold weights at your shoulders. If you need to roll the mat under a few times, that will be nicer on your knees. We're going to come down onto your knees. Step all the way up, pressing up through those heels. Back down onto your knees, and then back up. If that's too much for you, your other option is going to be to stay in a nice low squat. Just step back, step back, step back, step back. So try a round or 2. If it doesn't feel good, you can always alternate to this move. Otherwise, try the surrenders, whatever's going to be more comfortable for you. I'm going to set this one up in 3, 2, and go. So coming all the way down, Nice, good control, and then pressing up through your heel, but squeeze up to the top, and then back down. This is helpful for functional strength to help you just get up off the floor without using your arms. Something that we take for granted, we don't have to do very often. Awesome. Last 5 seconds, see if we can get one more. In 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. First round finished. Take your rest. We're gonna set this one up again. In 3, 2, and go. We're gonna come all the way down. And then step up through that heel. Big exhale, but squeeze at the top. If you need to modify, remember we just stay in that nice squat hold. Tap one leg back, tap the other leg back as you switch, keeping the weight in that heel of that forward leg to make sure you're using your glutes and your hamstrings to help support yourself, so not all the pressure's in your knees. Pressing up through that heel. Awesome. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo. You're doing so good. Shake out those legs. Setting this one up again in 3, 2, and go. This would be a good one, I guess, if you had knee pads for bike riding. You can always strap those on. Exhale. Every time you come to standing, you've got this. It doesn't have to be super fast. So make sure you feel safe and controlled as you press up. Awesome. Less than 10 seconds left. See if you can get one more on each side. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo! We only have one more round left of those. Again, you can always modify if you need to, holding in that squat. In 3, 2, and go. We'll bring that leg back. Good control as we come down, keeping the weight in that heel. Really works that standing hamstring as we come down with good control. We'll work the quad a little more as we come to standing. With a full leg exercise. That's why it's so challenging. Awesome. Keep breathing, last 10 seconds here. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Perfect, grab water. We're gonna be on the floor for the next 2. This is where I suggested if you have slightly heavier weights, I would grab those. This is gonna be for a chest press. So we're gonna combine your bridge and your chest press together. So I know on Wednesday we held our bridge the whole time while we moved our arms. This one you have to move in synchronization, arms and hips. So your goal is to bring your feet right underneath those knees for that bridge position. Arms are gonna come out nice and wide. Elbows still stay under shoulders, so try to keep them below your shoulders rather than way up here. As you lift your hips, we're gonna let those weights touch the weights together. Then lower your hips just to hover. Exhale to press. Inhale to lower. We're gonna do 4 sets of these, 35 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Starting this first set in 3, 2, and go. We have butt squeeze, dumbbell squeeze. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press. Inhale to lower. Your elbows should come down towards the floor at the same pace. The arms come out kind of wide. You still want to keep those elbows bent at a 90-degree angle as you lower. Keeping those wrists right over those elbows. Inhale and exhale. Awesome job. Keep breathing. We got 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. Then we'll set this one back up again. With that bridge and press in 3, 2, and go. Exhale, butt squeeze. Touch those dumbbells together at the top. Squeezing our chest together. Almost like you're making super cleavage. Inhale Inhale slower, just hovering those butt cheeks so we're keeping the tension in those heels. Still working hips and low back. Awesome, keep breathing. Last 10 seconds of these. Bring those hips up as high as you can. We got 3, 2, and rest. Halfway done. Setting this one back up in 5, 3, 2, and press, and butt squeeze. Inhale to lower, exhale to press. Should feel a nice openness in the chest now to bring those dumbbells down. Exhale as you lift, squeeze the butt cheeks and dumbbells together. Perfect, we're already over halfway. Try to get a couple more in here. Keeping those elbows out nice and wide, wrists right over elbows as they lower. We got 3, 2, and rest. Perfect, we got one last round of these babies. Setting this set up in 3, 2, and go. Last 35 seconds. Really try to get those hips all the way up to the ceiling as you press those weights up. Remember, still strong, belly button in towards spine. That's going to help us keep our core engaged. You're starting to feel this along the back of those arms, possibly the front of your shoulders a little bit. The wider you bring your arms out, you may feel it a little more in biceps as well. Awesome, we got 5, 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. Drop those weights to the sides. We're going to roll it over. We have 4 sets of mountain climbers. I'm pretty sure you all know what those are. So we're going to set up 4 rounds. If you need to take a break and hold your plank at any point, you can always just hold your plank. Or you can always bring it into more of a slow motion knee pull. We're going to set up for this first set. Setting up in that high plank, 35 seconds of work. In 3, 2, and go. We're really going to put most of that weight in your hands. Try to stay nice and light in those toes. You can make this as fast or as slow as you want. You want to try to last that whole 35 seconds. And imagine you are rounding your upper back towards the ceiling. Really pressing firmly into the floor. Awesome, keep breathing, last 10. Inhale and exhale. We got 3, 2, and rest. Shake out those arms. We're gonna set up this next set, 35 seconds. In 3, 2, and go. Exhale, and exhale. Throw a knee up towards chest. If you need to hold that plank, you can always hold that plank. Awesome. We're already halfway. Keep breathing. Drawing that belly button up towards your spine. These are challenging after the chest press. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Shake out your arms, shake out those wrists. We're going to set this set up again. In 3, 2, and go. Make sure you have that nice firm plank before we start pulling the knees in. That will help you feel more stable in the upper body and the abs. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. Awesome, you got this. Keep it going. Last 10 seconds. Awesome, we got 3, 2, and here. Again, if you need to hold that plank, go ahead and hold that plank. If you want to go slow motion, just exhale every time you pull that knee in. You've got this, climbers. We're already halfway. Last 10. 3, 2, and rest. Yay. You're done with mountain climbers. Okay, I'm gonna have you set up for our last 2 standing exercises. For our curtsy lunge, I'm gonna have you do your first set on the left, second set on the right, third set on the left, fourth set on the right. So for this one, I'm gonna have you try touching down. We're gonna go a little bit slower. So rather than staying up in this position where we're doing our curtsy, I want you to try to touch down toward your foot, come back up, touch down toward your foot, and then come back up. So it's gonna help you keep a little more of that support in the back of the hip, and it should put a little less pressure on the knee. If that still doesn't feel good, and you need to modify Grace, you can always stay in a narrow squat so you can touch down around those legs, and then squeeze legs together as you thrust butt cheeks forward. So we're gonna start first with that left leg on the ground, right leg going back. 35 seconds in 3, 2, and go. So we're gonna touch down, inside, right back up. Touch down toward the inside, right back up. Almost like you're doing a curtsy, like you're in a play. Awesome. Keeping that belly button in, chest still relatively forward. You just want to avoid letting the head and chest drop down towards the floor. Awesome. Last 10 seconds. Keep breathing. And we'll do about 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. Shake out that left leg. We're going on to the right one next. If this is super easy, you can always add a dumbbell where your hand's touching down and touch that towards the inside of your foot. Ready? And touch down. Inside that right foot. Right back up. This side might be a little more challenging to balance on, so do your best. Sometimes sending that opposite arm out helps act as a counterbalance, almost like you're reaching out for the side. Awesome, still keeping the weight in that heel of that forward leg. Keep breathing, last 10 seconds here. Should really be feeling this on the inner thigh, all along the front of that standing leg. And rest. Woo! Breathe. We have another set on that left leg. Setting up 35 seconds. In 3, 2, and go. Just step it across, touch down, right back up. Cross, touch down, back up. Awesome. Keep breathing. Your legs should be burning. Keep pushing through. Awesome, you got this. We're already over halfway on this side. This is our last set on the left leg. Awesome, we got 5, 3, 2, and rest. Shake that leg out. Deep breaths in. We have one more set on the right leg. Setting this one up in 3, 2, and go. So bring it down toward the inside of that foot. Right back up. Down towards the inside. Back up. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you stand. Really squeezing that right butt cheek up at the top. Perfect. Doing so good. Last few seconds here. Awesome, and we got 3, 2, and rest. Okay, we have one last exercise. Shake your legs out. You can always do a quad stretch if you need to. We're gonna go into squat jumps. If it starts to be too hard with the jumping, You can always stay in more of a calf raise. Make sure you're really thrusting those hips forward in your calf raise. Or you can just stay in speed squats, making sure you're still sticking your butt back and using your legs to full capacity. This is our last 4 rounds, and then we're gonna cool down. Give it all you've got, starting the first round of 35. In 3, 2, and go. So we're squat, little jump. Awesome. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. You're definitely gonna feel your legs tomorrow. Awesome, keep breathing. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and rest. Awesome, check those legs out. We're already a quarter of the way done. You were running a mile, you're gonna finish that 0.25. Setting up this next round in 3, 2, and go. Awesome, nice little hops. You can always make this more of a speed squat. Or come up onto those tippies, squeezing butt cheeks at the top, holding belly button tight. Awesome, keep breathing. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and rest. Yay. It's the hardest 2 minutes of your life. You guys are doing so good. Set this one back up in 3, 2, and go. Sit and explode. Using those arms will help you with that momentum. Awesome. Moving butt back. Butt squeeze. We're almost there. Last 10. You got this. 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Keep breathing. This is our last 35 seconds. It's a little longer than a commercial. In 3, 2, and go. Last time forever. Do as many squats as you can. Staying nice and safe. Butt back. Knees tracking over ankles. Awesome. Stay in this. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and you're done. Grab water. And then I'm going to have you go onto the floor. Setting up for our first set of stretching. Now you bring those heels together. Let your knees fall out as much as they can. Before we fold forward, take a nice deep breath in and exhale. When you feel like you can start to control your breathing and your heart rate comes down, bring your chest down toward your feet. Make sure you get a nice stretch along those inner thighs, especially after all of that jumping. Then I'm going to have you bring your leg out to the side. I'm going to have you reach your hand for your toe on that same side. This time we're going to bring that arm up and over. Get a nice stretch along the torso and open up in the rib cage. Awesome. Take a couple deep breaths in here. When we do a lot of bending over exercises, our obliques and our psoas will get really tight as well. Then I'm going to bring that same leg forward, so keep it straight. Try reaching both hands for that toe. Keeping that other leg still bent towards the inside of your knee. You should feel a subtle stretch along the back of that leg. The more you can pull that toe in towards your chest, the more of a stretch you'll feel. Then I'm going to have you bring that leg up straight up, right in to meet that other heel. Then we're going to send that bent leg out to the side. Once you have it nice and straight, we're going to reach for that toe. And then reach that arm up and over to get that nice stretch all along your torso and your obliques. Awesome. Take another deep breath in here. Then I'm going to have you bring that same leg out in front. Keeping it nice and straight, bringing that heel towards the inside of your knee. Then we're going to reach forward. Imagine you're bringing your knee or your chest down towards your knee. The more you can pull that toe in towards your face, the more of a stretch you'll feel along your calf. And then I'm going to have you bring that leg in. We're going to roll it over onto all fours. I'm going to have you do 4 hip circles, starting with the right leg. First, we're just going to go up and outwards, only 4 this time. It's almost like a hydrant, and then going back. After you do 4 around to the outside, I want you to switch your direction, do 4 around, leading back, and then to the inside. 3. And then we're going to bring that right leg forward for pigeon. So walk your hands forward a little bit, straighten out that left leg, and then you have to bring that right leg underneath. Try to sit down into this. You should feel a nice stretch all along the side of that hip, especially after all of our band walks and our cruises. If you can reach those arms out a little further, you can always stretch it out. Just take a few deep breaths in here to really breathe into this hip stretch. Then on your next big deep breath in, I want you to push that leg back up in your exhale. You go back up onto all fours. Then I'm going to have you do those same hip circles over on the left. So first going up and around to the outside and back. Outside and back. Bring it towards the inside of that knee. And then after we get 4, we're going to go the opposite direction. Bringing it around clockwise. And after we get 4 there, we're going to walk your hands out a little bit, straighten out that back leg, and then reach that leg under for pigeon. You can always heel toe your leg forward, however is most comfortable to get into it. Come down onto your elbows if you can, if it's comfortable. You really want to try to press that hip back to get a nice stretch along the outer thigh. And then have you go back up onto your knees. We're going to do one more shoulder stretch from our quadruped position. So I want you to reach yourself back into child's pose, sitting your butt back over those heels. Reach your arms out as far as you can. You're going to bring the right arm underneath your body, giving yourself almost like a big hug. We're going to push your right elbow down into the floor, almost like you're pushing out against that arm. And you should feel a nice stretch along the back of your shoulder. Take a few deep breaths in here. And then bring the right arm under and through, reaching it straight forward. We're going to bring that left arm underneath, almost like you're giving yourself a hug, pressing that elbow down into the floor. Getting a nice rotation. Should feel a nice stretch in the back of that left shoulder. And then bring yourself back up to the middle. We're going to slowly roll up to standing. way up. We're gonna take a big inhale as we fold forward. And then exhale as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, leading from your hips to your low back, to your mid back, making your head and shoulders relax when you come up. Awesome, then another big deep breath in, hold it forward. And then exhale as you roll up one vertebra at a time. And then one more big deep breath in. Inhale as you fold it forward. And then exhale, slowly roll up, making your head the last thing to come up. Awesome. You guys did so good. Today was challenging.